Thank you all for joining today on a webinar for Ayurveda, where Ayurveda is all about healthy hair, skin, mind, and body, organized by Plan Cover. A webinar is conducted such that we would first hear the insights about the topic from our guests today. After which, we will open the webinar for questions from all our invitees, where they can ask or post their questions regarding the topic on the chat, and we request our guests to take it one at a time. We will allow you to talk directly to our guests. Just raise your hand, and we'll just unmute you in case you wish to speak to our guests. Ayurveda is an ancient Indian system of medicine focusing on holistic well-being. It emphasizes maintaining balance in the body, mind, and spirit, and to prevent illness and to treat illness as well. To tell us more, we are joined today by our guest, which is Dr. Sharvari Abhyankar. She comes with a very versatile background and accolades. Dr. Abhyankar is an experienced Ayurvedic practitioner with over 15 years of experience in Ayurveda and holistic wellness. She did her BAMS in the year 2002 and has been a gold medalist in MA Yoga Shastra in the year 2015. She's also a go-getting entrepreneur. She's a founder of 121 Ayurveda, which is an Ayurveda clinic and Panch Karma Center, a dynamic teacher, a yoga expert, and a well-known corporate wellness speaker. Thank you for joining us today, Dr. Sharvari. We are thrilled to have you here. We are looking forward to the insights that you would share for you today. Ma'am, the floor is all yours. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mehta, for this introduction. Good afternoon, everyone. Good evening, I guess. Hello. So, I cannot see your faces, but I hope that you can see me clearly. So let us begin with our today's topic, which is Ayurveda's take on healthy hair, skin, mind, and body. I know this topic is really very vast, but I'm trying to comprise everything in this short period of 45 to 50 minutes. So what we are going to see or what we are going to discuss in coming 45 minutes, that is basically what is Ayurveda. Mr. Hiren has just introduced Ayurveda, but I want you to understand what is exactly Ayurveda is. The definition of health as per Ayurveda, because we have different definition in our mind that who is healthy, who is not, but what is Ayurveda has take on it. Description of Dincharya, how we can keep ourselves healthy with the help of Dincharya, Ritucharya, for our healthy body and mind as well. Then there is a role of Sadvritta for healthy mind. And then, of course, we are going to discuss about the health of hair and skin. So let us discuss. Let's go ahead. So basically, Ayurveda is a combination of these two words, Ayuhu plus Veda. Ayu means everybody knows, right? Ayu means what? Life. We generally ask in Hindi, Aapki Ayu kya hai? So Ayu means not only the age, but it is an Ayush, means our life. Okay, and the Ved is the Sanskrit word, which is basically a verb to know. With से ये वेद word आया है, so to know means to read. So Ayurveda means the life knowledge, okay, or it is a life science, and the scripture which gives all the information about Ayurveda. And it is not only the scripture or not only the science, but it is a way of life, and it is almost more than 5,000 to 6,000 years old. So this is little bit of introduction of our Ayurveda, and it is said that Ayurveda has actually introduced by Bhagwan Dhanvantari, which was arise from the Samudra Manthan. You must be knowing this story, all of us, that's Bhagwan Dhanvantari, who brought Amrut on Prithvi, and at the same time he has brought this Ayurveda with him. So Ayurveda is basically the part of Amrut only. We know that with the help of Amrut we can be immortal. Obviously nobody is immortal, but yes, with the help of Ayurveda, following the life science, we can actually delay our aging, right? That is why Ayurveda is the life science. So generally we know that many times Ayurveda is called as an alternative therapy. Okay, because nowadays the mainstream therapy is allopathy only. So Ayurveda is an alternative therapy. But since allopathy is focusing on the diseases only, Ayurveda is not like that. Ayurveda's first aim is Swasthasya swasthya rakshanam. I'm going to use some Sanskrit word in our presentation because Ayurveda is basically in Sanskrit. So swasthasya swasthya rakshanam, it is very easy. You can understand it that the protection of health of healthy person is the first aim of Ayurveda. Okay. And after that, it's aturasya vikara prashamanam, means to treat the disease. So aturasya vikara prashamanam, treating diseases, comes after the health as per Ayurveda. Right. So the first motto is to maintain health. To maintain health of body and mind and Atman is actually done by Ayurveda. So it is a holistic science, and Ayurveda sees every person as a separate entity, as a separate individual. We don't see patient as a patient. It is not the collection of diseases like collection of acidity or blood pressure or diabetes. We see the person as the collection or the combination of body, mind, and Atman. And we try to heal them, not just to cure them. Okay. So that is the importance of Ayurveda, because it is focusing not only on the mind, but as well with the help of that, not only focusing on the body or the diseases, but it also takes care of your mind. Right. So let us understand the concept of health as per Ayurveda. Generally, everybody wants to be healthy. Am I right? Obviously, everybody wants to be healthy. Everybody wants to live forever. है ना? But what is actually health? Okay. Nowadays, after seeing lots of reels of all these celebrities and influencers, every day we get to see the different kind of fad diet or the new drugs in our market. With the help of that drugs, one celebrity has reduced a lot. Previously, it was more than he or she was more than 100 kgs. Now he's barely 65 kgs or something like that. And then now we start feeling like that the thin people are actually healthy. Am I right? Okay. Or the people who are literally running for 20 kilometers per day, or the people who are lifting weight more than 100 kgs, we feel that these people are healthy. Am I right? Okay. But what is actually a healthy person? What is the definition of healthy person? So Ayurveda says it is samadoshaha, samagnishta. Don't worry, I will be explaining everything. Okay. So samadoshaha, samagnishta, samadhatu malakriyaha, prasanna atmendriya, manaha, swasthya iti abhidhyate. So it is not only about body. Right? If you are hardly 50 kgs weight, you feel really very good. Everybody is telling you, wow, you look so thin, you look fab. But are you really healthy? If your mind is not healthy, if you are not getting clear motion every day, simple thing, the getting clear motion is the great criteria that you are actually being healthy. Okay. So that is what Ayurveda is says. The person whose doshas are balanced, I'll explain what is doshas. Okay, the person whose Agni means digestive fire is balanced. The person's all the tissues which are balanced, which are in good condition. And Malakriya, Mala means the defecation or the urination when we excrete. So all these kriyas are also balanced. They are getting really very clear motion every day at every same time. And then his asthma, atma, all the five senses, and his man is also very happy, prasanna. Such person is called as healthy person. Okay. Now just ask yourself, are you a healthy person? Okay, right? So this is the health as per Ayurveda. So not only body, your mind, your indriyas, that means all your karmendriyas and your gyanendriyas, even your Agni, that means your digestive fire, you are getting clear excretion every day. And at the same time, your mind is also very happy and calm and cool. Then you will be said as a healthy person. Okay, so balance is everything. We always talk about work-life balance and everything. We want balance at the same time because as per yoga also, balance is the health. So how to achieve this balance? So here I have mentioned the samadosha. Dosha is the very basic concept of Ayurveda because our body is actually the combination of these three doshas. Okay. Now, dosha in Marathi, we generally see this dosha means fault. It is not fault. Actually, these are the fundamental pillars of our body, and our all body is actually made up of vata, pitta, and kapha like this. These are called as three doshas. So, body's every part is actually the combination of these three doshas. Your hair, your nose, your skin, your all the tissues, they are combination of these three doshas. And whatever the function which is going inside your body is also the functions of these three doshas only. For example, right now I'm speaking, this is the karma of Vata dosha. Because of Vata dosha, specifically the Udana Vayu, you must have heard about the Pancha Pranas. Yes or no? Have you heard about the concept of Pancha Prana? Prana, Vyana, Udana, Samana. You can chat little bit in your chat box, okay? Right? So, so in this Pancha Pranas, the Udana Vayu is responsible for your speech, right? And I know that you all are from that background that you have to speak a lot with your clients. Okay, so your Udana Vayu must be really very good. That is why you can convince your clients to take any plant cover or something like that, right? So this activity is because of the Udana Vayu. Okay. Then when we go for the excretion, that activity is comes under the apana vayu. Whenever we get we digest any kind of food, it is the activity of your pitta dosha. And whenever we grow, our height increases, our weight increases, right? There is repairing work is going inside our body. That is because of the kapha dosha. Okay, so our body is combination of this Vata, Pitta and Kapha, and ultimately these three doshas are the combination of Pancha Mahabhutas, that is the five elements. Okay, so here you can clearly understand from this picture also that Vata dosha is the combination of Akasha Mahabhut and Vayu Mahabhut. Okay, Pitta dosha is combination of fire, that means Agni Mahabhut and Jala Mahabhut, and Kapha dosha is combination of Jala Mahabhut and Prithvi Mahabhut. Okay, so ultimately our body is made up of these five elements, Pancha Mahabhuta. That is why it is said, Jo Pinda mein hai, wo Brahmanda mein hai. Okay, Yatra Pindi Tatra Brahmandi. That is the phrase we generally use. Okay, so whenever these three doshas are balanced, we can achieve the perfect health. Okay, apart from these three fundamental pillars, there are sub pillars. Those are should be balanced all the time, then only you can get the healthy body and healthy mind. Okay, what are these sub pillars? These are called as the Trayo Upastambha. Upa means sub, Stambha means pillars, Traya means three. Okay, so what are those? These are the ahara, diet. Obviously we know hamari jo body hai, this will work as per our diet only. Okay, then there is a nidra. We generally skip all this point very nicely nowadays. We don't sleep on time. We generally like to binge watch everything, and the night time is kind of like everybody is in full energetic mode, which is should not be actually there, right? So ahara, that is diet. Then nidra. Nidra is called as ardha roga hari nidra. Means your half of the diseases can be very nicely, you can cure all such diseases with the help of only sleep. Okay, right? So that is why it is called as ardha roga hari nidra. And the last one is the brahmacharya. Okay, now when I'm saying brahmacharya, everybody has like the raised antennas. Why she is saying about the brahmacharya? Because we know the very contracted meaning of this brahmacharya, that is the celibacy. Okay, no, as per Ayurveda and as per yoga also, the proper usage of your five indriyas, that is five sense indriyas, jnanendriya, as well as your karmendriyas. So if you are utilizing them well in a good manner, that is actually called as brahmacharya. Okay, so watching every bad thing on internet, that is also a brahmacharya. Okay, you are speaking very bad words to somebody, that is also a brahmacharya. Okay, so brahmacharya, if we are maintaining this brahmacharya, it is ultimately going to help you to maintain all the doshas, your body and mind. Okay, so that is why these three fundamental balancing of these three fundamental things, that is Vata, Pitta, Kapha, and these Trayo Upastambha is actually a way to health. Okay, now how to balance? We just talked about that balancing of these doshas, how to balance this. So as per Ayurveda, as I already told you that Ayurveda is first time is Swasthasya Swasthya Rakshanam. So every time it talks about the prevention of diseases. Okay, right? And if you want to prevent the diseases, if you want to become completely healthy, you have to follow such things. And that few things, in that few things, the Dincharya has really very, very important thing. So what is Dincharya? Dincharya means daily regime. Now many things have actually mentioned under this Dincharya chapter, but obviously with our busy schedule nowadays, we won't be able to follow all these things. So I have just collected few things which are really very relevant to our day-to-day life, and we actually can do this in daily manner. ओके सो दिने दिनचर्या इति दिनचर्या जो हम रोज करते हैं, जैसे हम रोज नहाते हैं, वी एवरीबडी वी टेक अ बाथ, वी ईट, वी हैव ब्रेकफास्ट, एवरीथिंग that is called as dinacharya. What is your daily regime? So this is dinacharya, how it should be. Okay, so before going to dinacharya, let me tell you, there is a biological clock. We all know, right? We have that certain time. At that time we feel hungry. At around 11 o'clock generally we feel to sleep like that, and then in morning 6 a.m. We generally wakes up. So all these things are basically based on your biological clock. Okay, so we know about this. As per Ayurveda, there is a doshas clock also. Okay, so that means in particular that period, in particular that time period, the particular dosha is very dominant in your body as well as in environment also. Okay, right? So let us understand that concept first. So there is a 10 a.m. to let us start with this Vata Kala, that is the 6 for 2 a.m. to first in the morning, 2 a.m. to 6 a.m. Okay, I'm talking about the 2 a.m. and 6 a.m. 2 a.m. means the midnight. Okay, from midnight 2 a.m. to up to early 6 a.m. there is a Vata Kala. Okay, as I told you earlier, the Vata is responsible for the excretion in our body. Whatever is going out from our body, it is the work, it is the function of Vata dosha. Okay, and it is highly activated during this 2 to 6 a.m. So that is why all our excretory function should be finished before 6 a.m. in the morning to optimize that function. If you want your bowel to be cleaned every day and very cleared, if you are not getting cleared bowel, start getting early up before 6 a.m. Okay, that is why that Vatkal will help you for this particular excretory function, and then you will get clean bowel. So those who are suffering from constipation, they should make this difference in their daily regime, that they should be awake before 6 o'clock in the morning, right? After 6 a.m., so that means 6 a.m. to 10 a.m., that 4 hours period is a kapha kal. Okay, kaphas function in our body to regenerate everything. Okay, to rejuvenate everything. So this is the time, and this time basically doesn't support your digestion, right? So generally what we have in our mind nowadays, it is saying that your breakfast should be like a king, right? Somebody was saying that breakfast should be like king, that you have your breakfast should be very heavy. Actually, Ayurveda doesn't support that, because whenever you are taking breakfast is many times obviously before 10 a.m. or 9 a.m. and that is the kapha kal, and kapha kal doesn't support your digestion. Kapha doesn't have that much of capacity to digest your food. Okay, because kapha is the combination of Jala Mahabhut and the Prithvi Mahabhut, which is a very stable and a sthira in Prakriti. So it doesn't support your digestion. Okay, so your breakfast is like that it will be sufficient just to move you till you are just to take you to that 12 p.m. आपके lunch time तक आपको वो energetic रखे, that breakfast should be sufficient. Okay, so that 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. is the kapha kal, and this is the really very important, very effective time for your exercise. Okay, so whatever your exercise, that should be finished before 10 a.m. Hitting your gym after 8 p.m., after 10 p.m., after your dinner, sometime 12 p.m. I have seen many gyms which are actually working 24 hours in a day, which is completely a wrong approach towards health. Okay, right? So 6 to 10 a.m. is the kapha kal. You should exercise during this period, and your breakfast should be lighter, just to keep you keeping you energetic till your lunch time. Then your 10 to 2 p.m. is the Pitta Kal starts, and Pitta is on highest mode or very active at around 12 p.m. Okay, so that should be your lunch time, 12 to 1, because Pitta is responsible for your digestion. Okay, and if you are taking your food during that period, it is going to be really very good digestion in your body. Fine. So you should understand that after that, again the Vata Kal starts. That means 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. It is again the Vata Kal. 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. is Kapha Kal. And 10 p.m. to midnight 2 a.m. is again the Pitta Kal. But then you will ask, then we can have our heavy dinner after 10 p.m. No, at that time body shuts down. Because our body, all living being, they follow the sun cycle. After sunset, our body generally goes on that repair mode. And at that time, if you are working really hard on your gym, you are hitting your gym after 8 p.m., 10 p.m., or you are having heavy dinner after 10 p.m., generally body cannot digest all these things. Okay, right? So please make changes according to Ayurvedic Dincharya to have really very good and good physique also and very good health for your body and mind. Okay, so waking up at Brahma Muhurta, that means between 4 to 6 a.m. is really very important to have clear bowel, at the same time to have clear mind. Okay, right? Because that 4 to 6 a.m. it is called as the Brahma Muhurta. This is the time, at that time that your intellect or your intelligence is at the peak. You can think really very good. You can do some productive changes. If you are a good writer, if you are a speaker, you can actually work on your speech or your writing in between this 4 to 6 a.m. Right? Then warm water first in the morning, which is called as Ushapan. You can add little bit of few drops of lemon juice to it, or you can add little bit of, if you are a Vata Prakriti, we are going to talk about the Prakriti also. If you are a Vata Prakriti, or you are at perimenopausal, menopausal age for females, you can add little bit of ghee to your warm water. Okay, that will add the snehan to your body, and it is really very good for your skin and hair also. Then obviously excretion, Vatakal, as I explained this is the Vatakal. Before 6 a.m. your all the excretory function should be finished. Then you can go for the Kavala Dharan. Okay, oil pulling. Kavala Dharan, you must not have heard this name, but you must have heard about the oil pulling. Nowadays, all these English names are really very famous, and our own names are getting like, अरे ये क्या है, ये क्या नया सुन रहा हूँ. So that is nothing but the oil pulling. Kavala, Kavala means निवाला, या तो मराठी में जिसको घास बोलते हैं हम. Okay, so you are going to hold that oil inside your mouth. That is called as a kavalo. Yes. Okay. So you can use any oil. The basically in Ayurveda, the til oil or the sesame oil is very famous. Okay. So if not any oil, you can easily get this sesame oil, and you can fill your mouth with that sesame oil. It should not be completely fill your mouth. Okay. It should be the half of your capacity. And then you are going to hold it for 5 to 7 minutes, and then move that oil to your entire mouth, like, okay, right? And then you just spit it out. After that, you can rinse your mouth, and after that, you can go for the gandusha, which is called as gargling with warm water, right? This particular Kavaladharan and the gandush, it will take hardly 10 to 12 minutes. Okay, you will say that madam is saying lots of things. We don't have that much of time in the morning. We have that must to sign or whatever. आजकल punching होता है और biometrics होते हैं. So we don't have time. But believe me, it takes hardly 10 to 12 minutes. This particular practice is very good for your teeth. It is very good for your neck. It is good for your skin, your eyes, and your hair also. Okay, so these are really very good practices which are mentioned in Ayurveda and mentioned under this daily regime Dincharya. Okay, then go for Vyayama, which is called as exercise. Okay, now previously when 5,000 years back when Ayurveda was written, obviously there were no gyms. They have the home gyms only. The people used to go for horse riding. Then the Surya Namaskar, yoga was there. So they have mentioned this yoga and Surya Namaskar, and it should be in a Kapha 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. Okay, now here while mentioning Vyayama, how much Vyayam should be done by a person. Okay, nowadays we are hearing many news that the person, many people, they die during their workout. Okay, they are running, they are doing a treadmill, or they are lifting some weight and they are getting cardiac arrest. So we have heard many such cases. And after COVID, everything, whatever happens, we generally blame it on COVID, either on COVID or on vaccination, right? Okay, but generally what is there? Basically, whenever you are doing Vyayam should be, it is clearly mentioned in our scriptures that Vyayam should be Ardha Shakti. Whatever your strength, the half of your strength should be utilized for this Vyayam. Not the complete strength, that beyond your capacity, you are lifting weight, beyond your capacity, you are just hitting the gym. The last night you have not slept well, still you are going for a gym. The last night you have already done very exertion, and then still you are doing the hit, because we have to show up, right? So all these things matter a lot while doing Vyayam. So Vyayam is always Ardha Shakti. Again, in winter, you can go, you can push yourself little bit, but in summer, you have to be very careful while during this Vyayam. Okay. Then very important regime, that is called as Nasyam. Okay. That is nothing but the putting medicated oil or ghee inside your nostrils. This is again a very, very effective daily regime, or the Dincharya, which can be done very easily at home. Once just try to learn this technique from any Ayurvedic doctor, or I'm just going to tell you the very simple technique. Just take few drops of ghee or oil, medicated oil, on your left palm. Okay, and with your right first finger, index finger, just put that in that oil or ghee and apply inside your nostril. Just coat your inner walls of your nostrils from that ghee or oil. This is also a small step about the Nasyam. You cannot put directly drops on your nostrils. It will take 5 to 10 minutes. Okay, you don't have that much of time, but you can do this easily, right? Okay, because inside the walls of our nostrils, they are highly vasculature in nature. Okay, and whatever you are putting in nose, they can absorb really very well. So that oil and ghee can be absorbed really very well from your inside of nostrils, and it can reach up to your nervous system. Okay, NASA, yes.
Ma'am, someone is asking, is it possible that we can just use normal parachute oil instead of oil or ghee?
I won't recommend the parachute oil, because again, there are many what the refinery agents in that. So homemade ghee is always sufficient, or you can just ask any Ayurvedic doctor which oil is suitable for you. There are many oils, medicated oils, which are easily available in market. I can also mention few oils at the end of the session.
That would be helpful. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, so Nasa means nose. Nasa is called as Nasahi Shirasodwaram. Means the Nasa is actually the door for your Shira. Shira means Mastak. So whatever the diseases are there which are above your shoulder. Okay, for example, the very common disorder we are facing nowadays, that is cervical spondylitis. Am I right? The cervical spondylitis is very common nowadays because of our this very good friend, right? We are just seeing this mobile all the time by keeping our neck like this. So this is the major cause of cervical spondylitis nowadays. We are working on our desktop all the time. We are not taking any break. We are not doing any exercise to our neck, and all these are actually fueling your spondylitis. So if you don't want that spondylitis, or if you are actually suffering from spondylitis, the Nasyam is very, very good kriya for you. Okay, because of this coating of oil or ghee, viruses cannot enter inside your nasal skin.
Ma'am, Mr. Shiva is asking, what is exactly the meaning for the medicated oil? If that
Medicated oil, because yeah, we generally the oil, many times the sesame oil is the base, and we put multiple of decoction in it. Okay, and with the help of, there is a kalpana, taila kalpana, and we boil it, and then we apply, and we add oil to it, and then whatever that oil, it is called as a medicated oil. So there is a Panchendriya Vardhan oil is available, Anu Tel is available in market. Sometimes we prepare the Yashti Madhu Ghruta oil, Yashti Madhu Nasya, which is really very good for your hair, good for your eyes also. Okay, so for all this Pancha Gyanendriya, for 5 senses, the Nasyam is very, very effective kriya, and it is very easy also. right? So which oil to be used, that can be asked to your Ayurvedic doctor. You can meet your Ayurvedic doctor, try to understand your prakriti from him or her, and then you can use such oils, right? Otherwise, if you have the simple cow's milk at your home, or if you are preparing the ghee at your home, you can use that also. Okay, right. So that was about Nasyam, the very effective. It is really very small kriya, takes hardly 5 to 10 minutes. And for this, whatever the kriya I have just mentioned you, it takes hardly few seconds. Okay, before stepping out from your home, you should apply this ghee or oil inside your nostrils. Okay, everybody, right? The next step is Abhyanga. Abhyanga is massage. Everybody knows. Now you will ask me how we are going to do Abhyanga every time, every day. Obviously, full body massage is not possible every day. Okay. But if you have some joint pain, right? If you have back pain or if you have knee pain, just quick massage to your lower back or to your knees would be really very great to maintain or to protect your joints. If not daily, at least once in a 15 days, once in a month, full body massage is really very helpful to maintain your body structure, to keep all these doshas balanced, and to keep your mind also healthy and fresh and relaxed. Okay, so once in a month, at least. In winter, you can go for weekly massage if you have that weekend time with you. So Abhyanga is really very good. It is good for your skin, hair, all your joints or your muscles also. Okay, so Abhyanga is always with oil. And which oil to be used? If nothing is available, then coconut oil is always advisable. Otherwise, the sesame oil, all this coconut oil and the sesame oil is a hypoallergic reaction. Okay, so generally people don't get any allergies because of the sesame oil or the coconut oil. So whenever we use that mustard oil, few people, they can have this allergy from mustard oil because mustard oil is very hot in potency and it should be used in cold weather only. So for Mumbai people, or those who are staying along the coastal region में जो रहते हैं, they are advised to have coconut oil or the sesame oil. Okay, now why Abhyanga is very important, let me tell you. Okay, here we are using oil. We are just pouring oil on our body and there is a very good massage. Because of this massage, there is an activation of your lymphatic system. Have you heard about the lymphatic system? If you are not science background, means we know the cardiovascular system, we know the skeletal system, respiratory system. So there is one system in our body which is called as the lymphatic system, and lymphatic system is also called as lymphatic drainage.
Yeah, Mr. Manji was heard about it. There's a one follow-up question from Ms. Shiva. Ms. Shiva, after Nasyam, do we need to clean the nostrils during bath, or we need to leave the ghee inside?
No, it should be inside only. Do not rinse your nostril. Yeah, if something is coming out, that you should just do, you just blow your nose and then it will, whatever the excess oil and the ghee, that will come automatically out. Yeah. Okay. So let us move to Abhyanga. So Abhyanga, in whenever we are using this oil, it is a really very good massage to our lymphatic system. Lymphatic system is also called as lymphatic drainage. Just like we have our blood vessels network in our body, right? We know arteries, veins, and the capillaries, right? Just like that, even these lymphatic capillaries are there around our organs and around our basically the blood vessels, right? And whatever is unwanted material in our blood is directly entering into our lymphatic system. Unwanted material, okay, right? That is why lymphatic system is also called as lymphatic drainage. Right? We call our drainage system, what is there in our drainage system? All the unwanted water, all unwanted material is there. Just like that, in lymphatic system, there is unwanted material. Where this unwanted material goes, obviously it goes ultimately in our circulation only, but this lymphatic system also takes care of all this unwanted material. There are multiple bacteria which are getting killed because of the lymphatic nodes. Okay, so all these things. But The thing is like that, because of the Abhyanga, this lymphatic drainage gives really very nice move, and all this lymphatic or the unwanted material can be moved very easily where they should go, and they are getting very filtered very nicely. Okay, so whenever there is a good lymphatic drainage, you will have less swelling. The swelling is, or the inflammation, whenever we call there is a face edema or the feet edema, pedal edema, this is because of the poor lymphatic drainage. All the extra water, it is actually not water, H2O, whatever that lymphatic fluid is there in our blood, which is getting collected in our lymphatic system. So whenever you are getting good massage, all this lymphatic system getting really nice movement inside it, and then all the unwanted materials gets cleared out. So Abhyanga is helping you to remove all the toxins from your body. That is why Abhyanga is very, very needed. Okay. Now, one more example I want to give you. We all know about the achars, right? Okay. We know we eat these achars. So what is achar basically? These are nothing but the raw mango or what achars are of multiple things. Okay. We are just keeping all that raw things, raw fruits inside the oil. Am I right? Okay. And then all these small pieces of this raw mango or something like that, they can be preserved very well for years, right? Why they are getting preserved for these years? Otherwise, they are going to rotten, right? They are going to be very smelly after a few days if you are keeping just out and in contact with air. But since they are inside the oil, there is no contact with oxygen. That is why there is no oxidation. That is why there is no aging. Are you getting my point? Okay. So if you want to delay aging, if you want to become healthy for maximum of type of your life cycle, of your life span, the Abhyanga is very important. So at least once a week, or not once a week, then once in a 15 days or once in a month, Abhyanga is advisable as per Ayurveda. Previously, it was mentioned in Dincharya, but I know it is not possible in our daily regime. Okay. After Abhyanga, you can have the warm water bath as per the weather. Now it is the summer, so it is always advisable to have the room temperature water, and if cold water weather, you are going to have bath with hot water, right? And then breakfast. Okay, so breakfast should be between the Kafakal, between the 6 to 10 a.m. And since Kapha doesn't promote your digestion, doesn't help your digestion well, the breakfast should be in little quantity only, right? Then your lunch time between 12 to 2 p.m., ideally between 12 to 1, because during this period, the pitta is on highest mode, and it is going to help you to digest your food very nicely. So this is the picture of Nasyam, the traditional method, and then the Abhyanga. But as I told you that if the Nasyam, the upper picture, that Nasyam is not possible for you in your daily routine, just apply ghee or oil inside your nostrils. Right? So that was about Dincharya. With the help of Dincharya, you can balance your doshas and can be healthy for many, many years. Now let us move to Ritucharya, or the seasonal regime. So what are generally ritus we see in our India? Basically, we know that the summer, winter, and rainy season, but actually we have the 6 seasons, right? Okay. And it is called as the Shishira, Vasanta, Grishma, Varsha, Sharad, Hemanta. Okay, so right now the Vasanta Ritu is going on. Okay, the March and mid of the April is actually mid of the May is Vasanta Ritu. After that, there will be the Grishma Ritu. So presently, this is Vasanta Ritu is going on. So I have just mentioned the months also, Shishira, and then, and in the extreme left column, I have mentioned about the solstice. That is called as the northern solstice. That means the Adana Kal. As per Ayurveda or the Sanskrit, it is called as the Adana Kal. And then the southern solstice, it is called the Visarga Kal or the Pradana Kal. What is this Adana and Pradana? Adan means to take and Pradana means to give. Visarga means to give. Okay. So what is Adan? Adan means nature is actually taking that energy from us. Okay. So energy is going from the living being or the human being to nature. This is called as the Adana Kal. Okay, so Adana Kal is actually getting stronger and stronger Uttar. That means Shishir, Vasanta, Grishma. Shishir is the starting of the Adana Kal, then Vasanta, and then the Grishma. Grishma is such a scorching heat where there we don't have the energy left with us. So all the energy is actually going towards the nature. Why? Because the sun is moving towards the earth. Am I right? And then there is a Visarga Kal, that means the southern solstice. That means the sun is moving away from the earth. Okay, so that is called as the Pradhana Kal. That means the energy is moving from nature to the human being. So it is increasing. From Varsha, there is the less energy. Then Sharada, little bit more energy. And then Hemanta. Yes, we are very fine in November to January. Okay, so Shishira and Hemanta, if you consider the Shishira and the Hemanta, these two ritus where our energy is on the peak. Okay, right? So November to March, the energy is peak. We have really very good weather. In Mumbai also sometimes we get that good weather. Okay, and then Uttar means by the days come and the like March and April, then our all the energy goes really very down, and the Grishma and the Varsha, we have the least energy. Varsha Ritu is the very good and a very lucrative Ritu for us doctors. Okay, our clinics are flooded by all the patients, so we are happy basically. But it is the kind of a season where our this energy, the human beings' energy is at the lowest. That is why this Ritu is also very good for all the bacteria, for the viruses, for all the machars, for all mosquitoes and everything. Okay, so Grishma and Varsha. So we should understand when our energy at the peak and when our energy at the lowest. And according to that, we have to make changes in our lifestyle, in our diet, and in our exercise also. Okay, so we have to understand that this is the Grishma Rutu or the Varsha or Grishma Vasanta Rutu, how much exercise we should do, how much diet we should take, what diet should be taken. And all this is actually discussed in Ayurveda 5,000 years back. Okay, so that is why this Ritucharya is really plays very important role while maintaining the health. Okay, so forget about all the these columns, just focus on this mid column, that is Prakop or the aggravation. Okay, so Vata aggravated during the Varsha Ritu, Pitta gets aggravated during the Sharada Ritu. Sharada Ritu के महीने कौन से थे? October. Remember, we call it as the October heat. Okay, why at that time Pitta is aggravated to up to the certain extent that we have all the disorders of Pitta dosha only. Okay, so generally if you notice the conjunctivitis, आंखें लाल लाल हो जाती है, right? Herpes. Okay, then the chicken pox, measles. What is the general presentation of all such diseases? It is always red in nature. The heat is there. The patient will complain about too much of burning, the acidity, and everything is there. All these are the pitta disorders, and they can be seen in this Sharada Rutu, October. Right? Okay, and the kapha dosha is aggravated. It is on their peak during this Vasanta Rutu. Okay, so just try to focus on this middle column. The Vata gets aggravated in Varsha Rutu, Pitta gets aggravated in Sharada Rutu, and Kapha aggravates in Vasanta Rutu. So just to remove all these aggravated dosha, and they are going to be aggravated anyways because they are getting aggravated outside of our body also in environment. जो ब्रह्मांड में है वो पिंड में है, जो बाहर आपको चेंजेस दिखाई देंगे, that changes we are going to see in our body also. Okay, right? So to balance all these aggravated doshas, the Ayurveda has mentioned about the seasonal panchakarma. Okay, pancha means 5 karmas are the kriyas. These are the shuddhi kriyas or some cleansing methods which are followed by Ayurvedic practitioners. Okay, there are Vaman, Virechan, Basti, Raktamokshan and Nasyam. Nasyam, we have generally discussed that Nasyam can be Virechan Nasya also or the Shuddhikriya Nasya also. Okay, so basically Basti treatment is advised during Varsha Rutu because Basti treatment is the best treatment to balance your Vata dosha. Okay, then what is Basti? Basti means the enema, where we use the medicated decoction or medicated oil for the enema. Enema is the thing where we actually introduce the medicines through the rectal route, okay, through the anus, right? It's sounding really very weird, but it is really very, very effective treatment, let me tell you. And it is really very, means it doesn't cause any pain also. It is really very comfortable treatment. It just sounds little weird that the administering the quath or the decoction or the oil through anus, it is really very weird thing, but it is really very effective and painless treatment. Okay, and it is the best treatment to balance your vata dosha. Okay, so that is why to balance aggravated vata dosha during Varsha Rutu, every person, healthy person, should follow this regime. They should take this Basti treatment from proper Ayurvedic doctor. Okay, then there is a Virechan. Virechan treatment is the best for Pitta dosha. Every particular treatment is good for, or the best for the particular dosha. Like Basti is good for Vata dosha. That is why it is advised to be taken to take during Varsha Rutu for every healthy person, if you want to maintain your health for throughout the year, right? Then there is a Virechan. Virechan is again the Ayurvedic practice of purgation or the detoxification through bowel movements, where we give some medicine for that person, and because of that medicine we get really very good loose motions, up to 8, 10, 12 or 14 loose motions we cause because of that medicine, which is called as Virechan, and that is the best treatment for Pitta dosha. So that is, it is advisable during Sharada Rutu. Or Rakta Mokshan, that means the bloodletting. We let the blood out with the help of simple needle from your cubital fossa, or sometimes we uses leeches. Okay, for particular diseases or particular conditions like varicose veins or some eczema, we apply leeches for that, which actually suck all the impure blood, and this is really very good treatment. Again, it is very painless. It sounds weird, but it is very painless and very safe treatment. Okay, so all these Virechan and Rakta Mokshan, those who are suffering from hypertension, they should do this Rakta Mokshan during every Sharada Rutu or the October heat. Okay, those who are suffering from all the skin disorders, they should go for Virechan in October heat, right? Then Vamana, that is again the therapeutic vomiting, emesis. Jahan par same, we give some medicines. With the help of that medicine, person vomits a lot, which is the this vomiting is to remove all the stuck kaphas inside your body. So it removes all the kapha dosha, and this is very very effective treatment for asthma, for psoriasis, for all the skin disorders, for rheumatoid arthritis, for allergic condition, or for autoimmune disorders. Okay, so these are the seasonal panchakarma which are advised for healthy person. And apart from the healthy person, we use this panchakarma to cure the diseases also. Okay, now let us move to the quickly to skin and hair. Okay, and skin and hair, basically they are part of our body. So if your body is healthy, obviously you are going to get good skin and hair. Okay, it is generally says that your skin is the mirror of your digestive system, right? That is why it was written samadosha samaganishta. If your agni is balanced, you are going to look beautiful. Okay, your skin and your hair are going to be beautiful when your digestive system is perfect. Again, the skin and hair texture depends on the two main things on persons, the prakriti, that is body constitution, and the saram. Okay, let me explain what is prakriti. As we have seen, we have discussed about the vata pitta dosha, and our body is basically combination of this vata pitta and kapha. Still, in few means in every person, out of these three doshas, the two doshas are very dominant. So we generally call them as the Vata Prakriti people, or the Kapha Prakriti person, or the Pitta Prakriti person. Okay. So if you are the Vata Prakriti person, your skin is generally ruksha or the dry in nature. Let me tell you. Okay. Then your hair is also very dry, or you have that brittle here, or your nails are also very brittle. So this is the typical feature of Vata Prakriti. If you are a Pitta Prakriti person, you are going to be really very fair. All that translucent skin, the glowy skin, the very, like you can see, wow, what is the skin? That is because of the Pitta. And then the Kapha person has also good skin, but they are not as fair as Pitta person. They don't have that translucent skin, but their skin is really very puffy. Okay. While Pitta person can be thin, but the skin is really very good. In Pitta people, their hair is kind of not very dark in color. They have that a little blondie hair they have. Kapha people, they have the black hair. And the Vata people, they have this hair like dry, sometimes black, then they have that hair fall, and then graying of hair is very, very common in Pitta Prakriti also and the Vata Prakriti also. The Kapha people, they have really very good and long and thick hair, luscious hair. Okay, so your hair and your skin depends on your Prakriti also. And then the Sara, we have the 7 dhatus or the 7 types of tissues in our body as per Ayurveda. Rasa, Rakta, Mamsa, Meda, Asti, Majja, Shukra. Okay, rasa means any fluid inside your body. So may it, your saliva also, then all the secretions which are getting produced in our body, they come in the rasa dhatu, or whatever you are eating, the first product after your digestion of food, that is called as rasa dhatu, and it is the beginning of all the dhatus. So if your rasa dhatu after digestion is perfect, all your uttar, the next dhatus are going to be perfect. Okay, after that your rakta dhatu, blood, mamsa is muscles, meda is a fat, then asti means your bone, bajja means bone marrow, all or the organs which are situated inside your bone. So with this, your brain and nervous system comes under majja dhatu. Okay, and then the shukra dhatu. Shukra dhatu is the purest form of everything. It is kind of a last product of thing. And obviously your ability to reproduce comes under this shukra dhatu. So whatever the dhatus is very dominant or it is in the very good state, that actually defines your twacha and your skin and your hair. So if the rasa dhatu is really very good, rasa rakta dhatu is good, your twacha, your skin and hair is also good. Even if the Meda Dhatu is very good, we generally call fat is not good, but fat is good for your skin and your hair. With that, you will have good shine on your face, on your skin, and good shine on your hair also. So fat is also very important. Why I'm mentioning the fat for your skin and hair? Because generally we would like to have the low fat diet, no fat diet, everything no fat. Okay, but up to certain extent, we need this fat. Right? Okay, so it depends on your prakriti. So this is basically the vata skin, pitta skin, or kapha skin. Let me give the proper example of this Kareena Kapoor, or you can say the all the Kapoor family. Okay, can you mention which type of skin they have? I'm just giving you the hint. Yeah, in chat box.
All right, answers on the chat box. Pitta is what Mansi says.
Yes, very good. Correct answer. Sahi jawab. Right. So pitta skin, the now you understood what is pitta skin, the fair and the sometimes the reddish texture they have. So that is the pitta skin. And if you consider the kapha skin, Vidya Balan or Katrina Kaif, they have the soft skin. If you see the Katrina Kaif or Vidya Balan, they have a little bit of like the underneath the skin, they have that good fat layer. Okay, so that is the kapha skin. They are not black or they are not even dark. Yeah, with the help of dark color also there is a kapha skin, but dark color is generally the feature of vata skin. And then the dry skin is because of the vata. The flat chicks generally they have the layer, then they have the very dry skin, okay, flaky skin, that is called as the vata skin. So skin and hair largely depends on your prakriti, okay. And obviously diet and nutrition is very important for your, obviously you can make some certain changes in your lifestyle, in your diet, so that you can have good skin, good manage a good hair also. Lifestyle changes, as I told you, like daily regime, nasyam is very good for your skin and hair, abhyanga is good for your skin and hair. And then there is called as the rasayana drugs. Okay, Ayurveda is actually called as Ashtanga Ayurveda, and there is one of the branch of Ayurveda which is called as Rasayan and Vajikaran, which is totally dedicated to this anti-aging property, to enhance the anti-aging property of the human being. So we have really very good health promoting herbs. We can use it in our daily basis. They are really very safe, but yes, of course, before using it, you should take advice from the Ayurvedic practitioner. Okay, so skin and hair management starts right from the your intrauterine life. So what your mother eats during her pregnancy, when you were inside your mother's body at that time, what your mother is eating, that is affecting your skin and hair. So that is why the proper health and proper nutrition of mother is very, very important for child's health also. I have seen such cases where the small babies, they have the graying of hair. The hardly 5 to 7 years old boy came to me and he was having the very gray hair, and I just curiously asked her, his mother, that were you eating lots of achars during your pregnancy? So she said, yes, I was having lots of craving for this achars. So the amla ras and the lavana ras, okay, amla means the sour taste and the lavan is the salty taste, is the really very bad for your skin and hair. Okay, so if you don't want any hair and skin issues, you should avoid this sour taste and the salty taste. Okay, then Dinacharya, Ratricharya is again very important. Ratricharya means what? That you have to get good 8 hours sleep from 11 to 6 a.m. 7 to 8 hours sleep is really very, very important for good skin and good health, good hair. Okay, and the Ritucharya we have already discussed, right? So basically, these Pitta dosha and your skin and hair texture is again can badly affected with your Rakta Dhatu and the Pitta dosha. If your Pitta is getting increased, it is going to vitiate your Rakta Dhatu, and then you will have all the skin and hair problem. And how this Pitta Dhatu will be aggravated? Because of the Amla and the Lavana ras. Amla is sour, Lavana is the salty taste. If you are eating lots of such things like continuous eating that Chinese food or some taste enhancing, the outside food always have that the taste enhancing material which are added to it, and then continuous use of this sauce or all other things, this is actually vitiating factor for your Rakta Dhatu. Okay, so if you are moderating, you're keeping watch on such intake, you are going to get good hair and skin. And obviously the Vata dosha is again the causative factor for dull hair and dull skin. If you are going for really very bad and fat diet, okay, extreme stress, you are under extreme stress, you are starving yourself like anything. We have seen some few cases few months back where that influencer was not eating anything. She was completely on that vegan diet, was having only that one particular fruit, and she died because of the starvation. Okay, right? So extreme starvation also cause really very bad problems with your skin and hair. Okay, so what spoils your skin and hair? As I told you, junk food, which is difficult to digest, spicy, oily, sour, and salty food. Okay, alcohol, smoking, too much of caffeine, and dehydration. Okay, what are the viharaj or the activity? Not sleeping during night time. Many times people, they have this misunderstanding that if I'm not sleeping in night time, I will cover up with daytime. No, the night sleep is very, very important for your body. Okay, because at that particular time only the repairing work will be conducted inside your body, which is not going to get conducted during daytime. So sleep should be in night time only, right? Then too much of sun and air exposure. So use of sunscreen nowadays is very, very important. Harsh weather and over exercises. Okay. And manasik hetu or the mental causes are stress and too much of anger. Continuously anger. If you are angry on your maid, on your sasuma, or on your husband, or your wife, whatever, whoever it is, or your boss or your subordinate, that too much of anger is going to spoil your twacha and your kesh. Okay, right? So what generally type of people they should take this? I'm just going little fast because I want to explain many things to you. So Vata type, they should follow this whole simple grains, which we are called as rice. Yeah, the simple grains, जिसको simple carbohydrates we call the rice or wheat. So try to have such simple grains in your diet daily. Lots of juicy and watery veggies and fruits are always advisable for such people. And apart from regular diet, they should include some healthy fat to their body. Okay, their diet, because vata generally they are dry in nature, so they need these oily things. Okay, so oily things, that doesn't mean that every day you are going to eat that vada and bhajia, but the healthy fat like ghee, coconut oil, or olive oil, whatever you can afford, right? Then avoid gassy food, especially during the night time. Drink plenty of water. Warm oil massage is very, very important for Vata Prakriti people. Okay, so that generally in Vata people, they have the fast aging in their body. Okay, Kapha has the slow aging. As per nature, they have the slow aging. Vata has the fast aging. So to avoid that aging, oil is very, very important internally, externally. So Abhyanga is important. At the same time, you should consume some kind of a good fat always. Going to bed on time and exfoliation, which we generally do for our skin, that should be once in a month only because their skin is already dry. Pitta type whole grain sweet fruits are generally advisable for Pitta people. And at the same time, bitter and astringent food is also very, very advisable. Less spices to be used. And if you are using spices, focus on cumin, fennel, coriander, such types of spices instead of going for the chilies and everything. Massage with oil, olive and coconut is advisable. Exfoliation in once in a 15 days. Application of sunscreen is very, very important for Pitta Prakriti people. Okay, because they are very tend to have that sunburns because their skin is really very thin. So that is why sunscreen is must for Pitta Prakriti. Kapha type, they have generally the fat layer beneath their skin. So that is why they are generally blessed people, as we say. But the warmer, lighter, less oily, bitter taste, astringent and pungent food is basically advisable. Regular exercise is must for Kapha people, and they can use all the spices and exfoliation once a week. Okay, so such regime you can follow according to your this Prakriti. Now, what we can do generally right now from tomorrow, what we can start. So the simple things that we have in our Indian market, that is called as amla or the Indian gooseberry. Its name is only the Indian gooseberry. Now the season has gone of Indian gooseberry because it generally available till February end or the March 1st or 2 weeks. Okay. So you should include this amla or amla powder, the dried amla, in whatever form you can actually use it in your diet. Okay, because it reduces the oxidative stress. Okay, and it delays aging. Amla is called as the Uttam Rasayan. Rasayan meaning which delays the aging. Okay, so very easily available amla is very, very cost effective also. If it is available in market in fresh form, you should have it once a day, full one amla once a day till you can get it fresh in the market. If not, it is fresh in the market, then you can use the amla powder, which is again easily available in Ayurvedic stores. Okay, you nowadays you can get that amla tablet also, which are prepared by very famous pharmaceutical companies nowadays. So you can use that also. Amla is the Shrestha Rasayan. You can use, generally all the people, they can use this amla. There is no side effects. Okay. Few people, they have some amla insensitivity towards the amla, so they can avoid, but otherwise you can use it. So in multiple form, you can have this amla, right? It reduces the oxidative stress and delays aging. Drink sufficient water, at least 2.5 liter to 3 liter water is required, but water is always should be as per your thirst. Okay, but generally 2.5 liter water is required. Enough amount of fiber, carbohydrates, and the fats are very, very necessary. We know that. Okay, right, to release all the toxins. Now, I just want you to focus on this particular, the highlighted point, which I have mentioned over here. Avoid Viruddha Ahar. Viruddha Ahar is called as incompatible food items. Okay, and this is the very, very own concept of Ayurveda. You won't find this concept anywhere in other scriptures. Okay, so this is called the Viruddha. There are many things, but generally, which Viruddha are we generally consume on the regular basis, that I want to focus you on that. Okay, and this Viruddha Ahar is very, very bad for your skin structure, for your hair, for your entire health. Sometimes the consumption of this Viruddha Ahar can cause many autoimmune disorder also, where we generally don't have the reason why this particular person is suffering from that. All the things are clear, but still it is having, either that person is suffering from that. So this may be the reason behind this Viruddha Ahar, incompatible food. What are this incompatible combination? The salt and milk. Okay, or the milk plus fruit, or the milk plus fish, or the cold and the hot food together. Now you will say we are not having the salt inside our milk and having, राइट? यू विल से हम तो ऐसे नहीं पीते हैं, हम पीते हैं, हम खाते हैं, हम मिल्क और सॉल्ट को हमेशा साथ में खाते हैं. फॉर एग्जाम्पल योर व्हाइट सॉस पास्ता. Okay, you are having tea with biscuits, you are having tea with toast, you are having tea with your khari biscuit or your khakra. The milk is in your tea and the salt in your khakra, the milk in your tea and the salt in your biscuits. All these are the viruddha ahar. Now just try to imagine this viruddha ahar you are consuming till since many years. Am I right? Okay. Or you are just having poha and then you are having your tea. You are having your upma and you are having tea. The salt in your upma, poha, and the milk in your tea is going to be viruddha. Right? Then milk and fruit, your yogurt or your milkshakes, your ice creams, these are nothing but the incompatible food item. Then hot and cold food, your brownie with ice cream. Okay, milk and fish, sometimes the fishes are marinated with that white sauce and everything. All these are the incompatible food items and you should strictly avoid it. Okay, this is really very bad factor for our health. It can actually cause the multiple disorders, right from the simple graying of hair till the cancer. So avoid it as much as possible. I will to see that avoid it completely, right? So have poha after half an hour, have your tea. Do not include your, do not dip your biscuit inside your milk or in your tea. Generally, all the mothers, they generally feel that their kids are having milk and biscuit. ओके, मिल्क की क्या वो बोलते हैं, दूध की सेहत बढ़ाए एंड जी मैंने जीनियस वगैरह वगैरह. वी फील रियली वेरी प्राइड ऑफ इट, बट इट इज नॉट लाइक दैट. ओके, ईट व्हेन यू आर हंग्री. जस्ट बिकॉज द टाइम इज देयर, 1 बजे बाद में मीटिंग है, आई हैव टू ईट राइट नाउ. नो, वेन एवर यू आर हंग्री, हैव योर फूड. स्लीप बिफोर 11 PM and 5:30 AM you should be wake up. Right? Regular yoga practice, whenever I'm speaking about the yoga, it is always the combination of asana, pranayama and the meditation, right? Then let us move to our last topic, that is mental health. Okay, so we all know that whenever it comes to the mental health, the yoga has a really very prominent role. And yoga and Ayurveda are basically the two sides of one coin only. It is really very said by many scholars that the Ayurveda or the Charaka Samhita, who has written by Acharya Charak, and the Patanjali Yoga Sutra, which is written by sage Patanjali, they were the same person. Because in somewhere in Charaka Samhita, Acharya Charaka has mentioned that I will talk about mental health somewhere else. And then he has written the Patanjali Yoga Sutra, which is completely dedicated to mental health only. So Sadvritta, the code of conduct, was mentioned in Ayurveda, but it is nicely explained in Yoga Sutra under the headline of Yamas and Niyamas. Okay, so yamas are the external ethics, the ethics we should follow while we are in with other people or while we are behaving or we are in society. These are the ahimsa, obviously non-hurting. Satya, we know that what is that, benevolent, the truthfulness. Asteya, non-stealing. Brahmacharya, as I told you, what is brahmacharya? Aparigraha, that means non-collection of too many things. We have many things. We have everything in our home nowadays. So that is actually the that is we are parigraha. We are collecting all the things and then we are getting attached to these things. So that is why aparigraha is really very important. Niyamas are the internal ethics that we should give some restrictions to ourselves. These are called as the niyamas. The shaucha, that means the shaucha means the purity, the cleanliness of your body as well as your mind. Santosha means contentment. Tapasa means something that you should practice every day. Discipline, sacrifice to others, that comes under tapasa. Okay, and in the swadhyaya, the self-study, always at the end of day, try to understand your behavior for that particular day, what you have learned new and how you can become really very better for the next day. That comes under swadhyaya and it is very important to make you better from every passing day. Right? And then the Ishvara Pranidhan, that means to surrender to God. So whatever in our hand, we are doing it. But what are the effects or the fruits? We are generally what we want. अगर मैंने आज ये किया है, मुझे उसका फायदा आज ही मिलना चाहिए. So it is generally, it doesn't come, it doesn't go like that. Because Lord Krishna has said in our Gita, Karmanyeva adhikaraste na phaleshu kadachana. So you just do your work and surrender to your God. Okay, whenever that returns come, you are going to get return. If you are eligible for that return, you are going to get it. So that comes under surrender, and it gives really very good clarity of your mind, and your agitation will be decreased because of this surrender to God. Okay. And then here you must have whatever the yamas and niyamas, you must have heard it before, but you must not have about this, must not have heard about this chitta prasadanam. Okay. This is really very beautiful practice which is mentioned in Patanjali Yoga Sutra. And this is my favorite practice which actually works. Okay. Sometimes the people, they are doing yoga since ages, since many years I am doing yoga. They say like that the 1 hour is completely dedicated for their yoga practice. But at the end of the day, they are not the good people. The people they are many people, they are hating them, or he is not a good boss, or he is not a good mother, or whatever he is, because he is continuously cribbing, he is making tantrums and everything. How you can become really very happy and calm, that is shown, or that is taught under this Chitta Prasadanam Sutra. Okay, so Maitri Karuna Mudita Upekshanam Sukha Dukkha Punya Punya Vishayanam. Let me explain. Whenever I talk about the Chitta Prasadanam, I just remember the face of this Lord Krishna. Can you see there is a little smile on his face, and his eyes are closed, and the face is really very calm and serene. Just by looking at this picture, you feel good. Your face should be like that, and that can be achieved with the help of Chitta Prasadanam. Chitta means your mind, prasadanam to make it beautiful. Okay, so how you can make your mind beautiful, or how you can make your mind happy, that can be done with this Chitta Prasadanam. So what is this? Prasadanam means making something pure and beautiful. So you should cultivate these 4 habits. Okay, so that is, first is the Maitri. Maitri is the friendliness. Friendliness towards those who are already happy. What that means, generally, whenever the other people are happy, we generally show, yes, yes, very good, congratulations. But in our mind, isko barabar se mila, mujhe kyun nahi mila, right? That thoughts are going inside our mind. That should be controlled. You should be really happy for others' happiness. Okay. Maitri means friendliness. The friend, हमें लगता है ना, we should meet often. Whenever our good friend is there, we should feel to meet our friend very often. So the things which are making you happy, you should do it very often. For example, if the dancing is giving good happiness, you should dance at least once a week. You should sing, you should cultivate some art, or some habits which are making you happy. This is called as the Maitri towards those who are happy, and at the same time those things which are making you happy. Then the Karuna, or the compassion towards those who are miserable, those who are not getting enough. We should have the compassion towards them. Okay, not like them, अच्छा हुआ, ऐसे हुआ ना, अच्छा ही हुआ, भगवान ने बराबर से सुन लिया मेरा. Should not be like that. Okay, then only your mind will be pure after few days, obviously. Mudita, that means the joy towards those who are the virtuous. जो पुण्य है, पुण्य की तरफ you should feel happy after doing some punya karma. So if you are doing some rituals, or you are doing some dana karma, you should feel happy, right? And the upeksha towards the apunya, jo achhi cheeze nahi hai, those who are vicious things, you should avoid it, or you should upeksha it. Also, this upeksha is like indifference towards those things, those who are not yours, or those who are not under your control. You should avoid it. You be very indifferent towards those things. If you are cultivating all these 4 things, the Maitri, Karuna, Mudita, Upeksha, your mind is going to be really very clean and calm. Okay, so by practicing all these mental virtues, the mind becomes really very purified, tranquil, and it is free from your disruptive force. What are these disruptive force? These are the Shadripus. We know the Shadripus: Kama, Krodha, Moha, Maya, Mada, and Matsara. We can avoid all these Shadripus, which are basically very vicious, very bad for our mental health. Okay, and if our mental health is balanced, our skin and hair are going to be very beautiful, and we are going to look very beautiful after cultivating all these habits, right? So Chitta Prasadanam is a very crucial health step in yoga path to achieve that higher state of mind. Technique: This technique is continuous practice of cultivating this. So you have to be always the conscious about all these four things, that yes, I want to be happy in others' happiness. I want to be compassionate when others are in misery. I should be mudita, or the joyful about all this punya karma, and then upeksha of this apunya. Okay. So when your mind is really very pure, obviously you are going to look very, very beautiful, because संत कबीर जी ने कहा है, नहाए धोए क्या हुआ, मन का मैल न जाए, नीर सदा रहे पानी में, धोए बास न जाए. Am I right? Okay. So if your mind is really very clean, clear, with the help of yoga and all this chitta prasadanam and then Ayurvedic principles of Sadvritta, and then obviously with seasonal panchakarma, Dincharya, Ritucharya, Ratricharya, you are going to achieve the best balance in your body, mind. So that was about my session. Thank you very much.
So very, ma'am.
Yeah.
It is an exhaustive session. You covered, all the topics that we spoke about, and you just reiterated how important a daily regime is and how to go about getting beautiful hair and skin. So thank you so very much. I already have a few questions for you, if I may, because I know we've already overshot our time.
Yes.
So you said one of the things which you mentioned is how important sleep it is at night. So there's one person which is Vidya Sagar, who asked that his working hours are from 5:30 p.m. to 2:30 a.m. He sleeps for about 7.5 to 8 hours. He rarely dreams. He has dinner around 9 p.m. Is this sleep pattern unhealthy? And any tips of reverting or revising it while still maintaining the skill?
Yeah, can I see his question where it is? It is in the chat box.
Yes, ma'am, it is in the chat box.
Yeah, my working hours from 5:30 p.m. to 2:30 and 7 to 5 8 hours, but I rarely dream. So dinner about 9 p.m. Yeah, the sleep pattern is a little bit weird, because obviously it is not as per the biological clock, but I understand that your working hours are like that. So it is good that if you are sleeping for 8 hours, but after 2:30 a.m. you get to sleep. So just do one thing. Whenever you are sleeping, just close all the windows and the curtains and make it literally dark in your room. It should be really very quiet, so that your body will understand that it is night time only, and then the body or your hormonal system will secrete all such hormones which will be helpful for the repairing of your body. So that can be done. And your this 9 p.m. Dinner is fine, but that dinner again should be light as much as possible, because you are going to work after that, and obviously the heavy dinner is not going to help you. If you are feeling little hungry after your working shift, like 2:30 a.m. or something like that, you can have warm milk in the night, adding just little bit of ghee into it and little bit pinch of turmeric to it, and then you can go to sleep. It will actually relax your all body and the nervous system, and you will get good sleep. That sleep will be helpful for your body. Yeah.
There is Kumar Shakti who wanted to ask. I'm just going to allow you to talk. Kumar, go ahead and ask your question. You can unmute yourself. Kumar, are you still here? Okay, I think we'll come back to Kumar. There's another question by Jyoti who says, how can I cure water retention by Ayurveda?
Okay. So with Ayurveda, obviously you should meet your doctor. Water retention, the causes of water retention can be multiple. The one is very common is hypothyroidism, and many times it is because of the perimenopausal and menopausal age also. So I would like to advise you that you should meet Ayurvedic doctor, or the simple yoga practices, which is called as Sukshma Vyayam, that can also help you to reduce this water retention. But the cause why this water retention is there, that we have to eliminate first.
One last question before we wrap up for the day, ma'am. There was someone, you emphasized on how, to have a healthy hair and healthy skin. There's someone who's asked a question that if someone is, having hair fall, how does one control that?
Hair fall.
Yeah.
Yeah. So again, the hair fall, we should consider the cause of that hair fall. There should be many causes for hair fall. Again, as I told you, if the female is there, we generally rule out the PCOD or the insulin sensitivity, insensitivity over there. And again, the menopausal or the hormonal imbalances are the causative factor for hair fall in females. And if in males, if there is a baldness, the baldness is again very much dependent on your genes. So if you have that bald genes, you are going to get bald. So nothing can be done much in such cases. But yes, avoiding this salty and sour food in your body, taking this avla regularly, and that can help you really very well. Applying regular oil to your hair, for example, for hair fall, we generally recommend if the person is pitta prakruti, the Mahabhrungaraj oil is good, or the Vattajatadi oil is also good. So again, sometimes we use as per prakruti, the oil usage of oil or the suggestion of oil can depend on the prakruti also. So just eliminating the cause. Again, I am focusing on the cause is very important. So eliminating the cause is very crucial over here.
Right, right. Just to follow up on Jyoti's question about water retention, is does direct sugar cause water retention, or does it may cause retention?
Yes, direct sugar can cause water retention because sugar and the salt, these two things have the property to contain. See, whenever we are leaving this sugar or the salt just outside in bottle, they are becoming soggy. Am I right? So sugar and salt, they both have the tendency to retain water inside our body. So maximum of salt intake and sugar intake can increase your water retention. So if you have water retention, avoid the salty food. Okay, salt consumption को एकदम कम कर दीजिए. Whatever the salt which is coming outside are just apart from your sabji and your dal. You should not consume salt in any form. So first avoid the salt in your roti के आटा में भी salt डालना बंद कीजिए. No salt in your chas, no salt over your fruit, nothing like that. Biscuits, bakery products because they have lots of salt inside it. Then farsan and outside food. Okay, so avoid it.
Very interesting. One last question, ma'am. It's from Simrit. She she's combined skin and usually gets irritated skin during summers. How can she cure the irritation and allergy?
So, Simrat, I guess you will need some proper treatment for your skin issues. Okay, so what is that irritation that first should be addressed? And obviously, with your this proper Prakriti assessment, I will be able to help you. But otherwise, have plenty of water. Try to include some ghee to your diet, the pure form of ghee. And what exactly irritation that I should know, and then only I will be able to help you. Okay.
That
There
was
was
very,
one
very
question that then the milkshakes are really bad. Yes, 100%.
Yeah, I heard you already answer that. As the reason I did not ask.
Yes.
So it's quite revolutionary because a lot of people have smoothies, shakes, mueslis with milk. So a lot of things have changed as a perspective when we listen to you, and those insights are very, very helpful today. Thank you so much, ma'am, for your time, and thank you so much for sharing your experience with us.
Thank you.
Thank you everyone for joining as well for this webinar. I hope you had an insightful one from our guest today, and have a very pleasant weekend. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you.